Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
And we're back. We're back in the saddle again. I think I'm using too much energy. Things are getting exciting. So we're gonna stop. It's gonna be silent for a minute, but what we're all gonna do is we're all gonna take a couple of deep breaths here. Let's do it. You ready? Hold it in 3 seconds and out. That was one. All right, it's already working here. And out. We're gonna do it one more time. One more time. Here we go. See, it's already working. If you're doing it, it's working, isn't it? All right, and we're gonna hold our breath, take in as much breath as you can, hold it for 3 seconds, and then slowly let it out. Not whoo, right? So you're ready? One more. There we go. See? These are tricks that we can use. Tricks that we can use. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do this. We're going to try doing the random reading a little bit different. I'm going to go to Chat GPT. All right. Start a new chat here. Give me a random page from the big book, including the doctor's opinion, but not this, including the doctor's opinion. We'll just put that, and let's see what it says. Gotta give it a second. Here's a random excerpts. It was like, okay, well, you could just read doctor's opinion. It just picked doctor's opinion. Did you use the whole big book or just doctors? This is what you need to. This is how you work it. It started gaming from doctor's opinion. Yeah. We're gonna go with 1. Okay, because it did do it wrong. When we insert, okay, all right. It gave me 1. Nobody's here. Man, I'm sad. All right, it took me to page 63. Thank you, Chat GPT, for helping us. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host. If you're here, if anybody's here, please say hello. It's not surprising. I've been running my mouth all day. So, right. But we don't do these things based off whether people are here or not. We do it because God wants us to, right? And even in this, me asking Chat GPT, kind of a God thing. Kinda. The fact that it even knew the big book. Why does it know that? Because I've been feeding Chat GPT information for months about me and what I do. And so it knows my theme. And that's how it came up with the Recovery Watchdog. It knows me. I fed it a bunch of my YouTube transcripts. So I asked it a few weeks ago, what do you know about me? It said, at one point it said, and you like progress, not perfection. I'm like, no, I do not. I don't say that. I say progress through perfection. Now it writes it that way every single time. All right. So we're going to be on page 63 for anybody that would like to follow along. So it says here, when we sincerely took such a position, all right, and these are the third step promises. I'm going to go back a little bit because we need to understand what position we're sincerely taking. And what does sincerely mean? We all think we know, all right? Definition of sincerely. Let's see. A simple. What does sincerely mean? Sincerely is an adverb meaning genuinely or honestly. So sincerely in this case is a genuine, honest decision, right? Because in the third step, we're making a decision. So I'm going to start at the bottom of page 62, the first or the last paragraph. This is the how and why of it. First of all, we had to quit playing God. It didn't work. Next, we decided that hereafter, in this drama of life, God was going to be our director. He is the principal and we are his agents. He is the father and we are his children. Most good ideas are simple. Yep, simple. Don't try and figure your higher power out. You know, I don't do that. I don't even know if it's true. But there are too many quote unquote coincidences happening in my life. You know, even if it turns out that there was no higher power, my life ended up being better because of this, and that I can't argue with. All right. I don't need to trouble myself with things like which came first, the chicken or the egg. I don't need to dig into all these philosophies. How do I know it works? Because it's working for me right now in my life and hundreds of thousands of others. All right. He's the father we as a children. Most good ideas is simple. And this concept was the keystone of the new and triumphant arc through which we pass to freedom. What is this? So an arc, you know what an arc is, right? It's a doorway for a door. In this case, that's what it is. That arc is the door of willingness. Yes. Well, actually, it's the door that you use the key of willingness to open. And this door is what stands in between you and the sunlight of the spirit. And you're the only one that can open it. You're also the only one that can close it. I can hand you the key. I can show you how the key works. I can describe the key. I can even tell you what's going to happen, but I can't do it for you. I can sit there and encourage you. Sure, I can do that. So then we get to the third step promises. Now, this is something that I learned about 3 years ago. It was more than a year ago that I know. I'm not the best with time. But somebody brought up in a meeting, said what you do is when you read the promises, change the pronouns. So instead of we, it's going to be me, I, right? Because when I read them with these pronouns, they're just kind of things that might happen to me. But when I change them, what happens is I start to take accountability for them. Instead, it becomes a question. And I'm going to tell you, you'll go through these, you'll read it, and weird things are going to happen in your tummy. You'll read some and be like, oh, yeah, that's me. Oh, wow. So when you when you change the pronouns, this is a guide to your progress. The promises are a guide to your progress. Are these things happening in your life? They're not just promises we threw out there and we hope that you get. No, the promises are your guide to progress. All right. So I'm going to change the pronouns. So when I sincerely took such a position, all sorts of remarkable things followed. I had a new employer, being all powerful. He provided what I needed if I kept close to him and performed his work well. There's a thing there. He'd see. Now, the Daily Trudge is a great example of that. Do I ever ask for money? That's going to change. I'm going to start asking for donations probably in the next couple of weeks. If people want to donate, they can. If not, it's not going to change anything. I'm not going to get upset if you don't donate. I'll put it that way, because a lot of people can't, right? But anyway, but my webpage continues going on. Every month somehow this all gets paid for. So I'm going to check something here because I'm not seeing any chat yet, and I just want to make sure nobody is chatting. Yes, Amber is chatting, and it is not popping up. Oh, it just happened. So you just said it. Okay. Hi, Amber. So it continues happening. It continues going forward. Okay. Now, why does God continue to help me pay for this stuff? Because He provided what I need if I kept close to Him and performed His work well. That means I'm performing His work well. There's my answer. So yes, that is happening to me. Established on such a footing, I became less and less interested in myself, my little plans and designs. Now, when I think about things, even the recovery watchdog, I had to think on it for a while, a long while. Is because number one, it needs to be done right. It is not there to hurt other people. It can't be that, or God will not be happy with that. No, He will not. I spent a good portion of my life abusing God's children, and it's not something I'm willing to do anymore. Okay? I will certainly confront and advocate if we can find a solution. More absolutely will. But I became less interested in my plans and desires. More and more, I became interested in seeing what I could contribute to life. You didn't have service till now? Till now. All right. All right. More and more, we became interested in seeing what we could contribute to life. Earlier, somebody had posted a thing about homelessness, and they're like 80% of people on the streets are addicted to drugs and alcohol. And I'm like, no, that's not true. 34% is the answer. This is my field, man. If I don't know something like that, then man, I should just get out. It's about 34%, 35%. Yeah, I'll even push it as far as 40%. Maybe they messed up some numbers, but it ain't 80%. It ain't 80%. Amber says you Safeway, Hobby Lobby, vote, library, home. That's a good choice. Yeah. I'm filling out my voter stuff tonight. No, I'm gonna drop it in a box. I'm not gonna. I would rather, because I don't trust them. I would rather go in and vote, but I just can't handle the people. All right. So more and more. So anyway, then somebody said, they literally said, what's wrong with you? Are you high? And I did, what the fuck are you talking? So I wrote back, I'm like, I'm not even sure what you're talking about, but I've worked in this industry for a very long time. And the real question here is this: what have you done today to make your community a better place? And I can tell you now, they're not going to answer that question, because the answer is nothing. You can argue with me all you want, but the question is, what are you doing to make the world a better place? Are you going to go vote like Amber is? She's doing that to make the world a better place. Yes. See? Yes. Go vote, please. It's your God-given right. And I'm not going to tell you how to vote. Nope. So more and more, I became interested in seeing what I could contribute to life, because I found out a secret that it's better to give than to be given. It is better to comfort than to be comforted. That it's better to love than to be loved. I don't know why it took me so long, but I figured it out. And I wish a lot of people in this world would figure it out, right? That St. Francis prayer. As I felt new power flow in. Oh, yeah. Yep. All right. Now, with what I do, there are going to be a lot of people that get angry with me. There's going to be name calling. There's going to be finger pointing. I'm not worried about it. My life's already been, yeah, I've already been threatened 2 or 3 times. You better shut your fucking mouth. I'm a beach. Whatever. You're in a fucking motorcycle gang. You're on the other side of town. Besides, you're like a millennial or Gen Z. Yeah, I'm not afraid of you in a physical sense. Sorry, but you guys just didn't do what we. See, I grew up with push mowers. I yeah, I don't look it, but I'm stronger, a lot stronger than I look. But it's because I've had to do hard things. Right? Dishwasher, whatever. Yeah, and if you haven't experienced a push mower, man, then you are up for it. Here, I'm just running my fucking mouth. I apologize. As I enjoy peace of mind, I have that every now and again. As I discovered I could face life successfully. See how it sounds so much different. I am facing life successfully. Hmm. You know what you're doing here? Because it doesn't feel like because you're reading the big book. So these are affirmations now. So you're making statements to yourself that you are what you are. And that intention in and of itself will bring better things just doing that. Yeah. As I became conscious of his presence, I began to lose my fear of today, tomorrow, here, after I was reborn. And I have been reborn. I've been reborn more than once. I'm like a snake. Every now and again, I got to shed off my skin, move into the next thing. Right? I was a caterpillar. Now I'm a butterfly. Right? That wasn't an awe-inspiring, you know, might the might the might the devil exit your life and Jesus heal you. No, it wasn't. It was gradual. It was slow. One day I turned around and I'm like, holy crap, I can live in the now. And that's what that is. We began to lose our fear of today, tomorrow, the hereafter, because now you're living your life for now. Now, now, now. Now, 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 now. Boom, boom. All right. Now I'm going to read the third step prayer, but I'm not going to comment on it much. And this is the reason why, because it's between you and your higher power, but it's got to have some main things in it. Okay. And I do, and I also say that because if you need to change it to suit what you're doing, do it. All right. We're now at step 3. Many of us said to our Maker as we understood him, God, I offer myself to thee, to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help with thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. We thought well before taking this step, making sure we were ready, that we could at last abandon ourselves utterly to him. And utterly is not the udder that we were talking about on a cow. It means all of you, the best of your ability. All of it to the best of your ability. This is the way I saw it. All my best thoughts got me drunk and in jail and in institutions and broken relationships. Right? It cost the affection of my family and my children. Right? So really giving, when I got here, I wanted me dead. So abandoning myself utterly to him was not that difficult because there wasn't anything left. There was something much better on the other side that very much included me and my skills and my talents. Yeah. I also found out where I'm not as good at things. So God seems to put people that are better at the things that I'm not good at in my life to help me out with those things. Seems to be the way it works. And that goes back to he provided what I needed if I kept close to him and performed his work well. That includes my friendships and meetings and everything that I do. Yeah. We found it very desirable to take this spiritual step with an understanding person, such as our wife, best friend, or spiritual advisor. I want you to hear this next line. But it is better to meet God alone than with someone who might misunderstand. Because I'm going to tell you, everybody that I have sponsored, the third step did not take effect when we did the prayer together. It didn't. It comes alone in the dead of night when things feel the worst. Well, it's going to come out of nowhere. And you'll know it because you're going to get a feeling in your tummy. And it's going to say, wow, I feel different. This is different. You are not going to know if it's good or bad. And you're not going to know that it's good or bad because for a spiritual experience to happen, you must empty yourself first. You're going to feel empty before you feel full again. It is. It's called limbo. You'll be in limbo for a little bit. Thank God for the fellowship. Fellowship will help you through that. It's part of the process of being reborn. Okay? The death of the old self, which means there's going to be what involved? Grief. To some level, there will be grief. Sometimes I still miss the old Dion because there are things that he could get done that I can't get done, but they also led to jail time. All right, so it is better to meet God alone than with someone who might misunderstand. And it isn't so much that the other person might misunderstand, but how you see your higher power and how I see my higher power, it's probably different. You know, I just want you to know that you have options. The wording was, of course, quite optional, so long as we express the idea, voicing it without reservation. This was only a beginning, though, if honestly and humbly made, in effect, sometimes a great, very great one, was felt at once. That's what I'm waiting on before the vigorous course of action. That's how I not everybody sponsors that because it says next we launch into a vigor. So fourth step needs to happen. But this effect needs to be felt first. That's what I have found out in my experience, anyway. Now, you might have a sponsor that takes you straight. It's still the right way. What we have are different experiences. None of these are right or wrong. They're all correct. Because see, maybe you did feel an effect right away. If so, then yeah, you need to next launch. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something to where that's not happening to them. So maybe I need to go rediscover that, right? So we need to stay open minded about it. There isn't one right way. Well, there kind of is, but it's hard to explain. So next we launched out on a course of vigorous action, the first step of which is a personal house cleaning, which many of us had never attempted. No one that came to AA has attempted it before, unless they were in AA before. Though our decision was a vital and crucial step. Okay. They're talking about the third step here still. Right. So, though our decision was a vital and crucial step, it could have little permanent effect unless at once followed by strenuous effort to face and be rid of the things in ourselves which have been blocking us. Our liquor was but a symptom. We had to get down to causes and conditions. And we can't do that without a good third step. Right? Because I know like Amber, she takes her people through the steps very, very quickly. And it works. Right? In fact, I have a sponsee that went to her so they could see a different view. Right? And they asked me, I'm like, fuck yeah, go do it, man. Go do it. Because she might be able to fill in the blank spots that I wasn't able to fill in. I don't know everything. I don't need to know everything. I got friends like Amber that already do. We're Virgo, so we can talk like that to each other. So. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I'll wrap this one up. before I talk so long, I get myself in trouble because that could happen easily. So, all right. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And keep on